Refugees have a long road to travel to feel acclimated to America. Judi Harris speaks to us from Michigan, where she's been helping Afghans who were lucky enough to make it to the U.S. over the past year. Judi, it's so wonderful to have you back on the show. It's been a year. What can you tell us about the number of people who you have received from this withdrawal, and how many refugees St. Vincent Catholic Charities is helping right now?
So it's been a crazy year, very different from anything we've ever experienced. It seems like it was actually really long ago that everybody started coming, but we had committed to resettling 300 Afghan humanitarian parolees through the program, the evacuation program, and we ended up with 289, so almost 300.
Right.
And all different kinds of people from different areas. In the beginning, it was really crazy. People were coming with hardly any notice. They were just, arriving. And so we had to put people in hotels initially because we couldn't find permanent housing fast enough. But at this point, everybody is in their own permanent housing, in a rental house, enjoying life and enjoying the beautiful summers of Michigan. The kids were in school. They're going to be starting school again next week. So it's been great. And I think we've done a great job, and people are becoming very successful here.
Hopefully they'll flourish. Judi, what was it like, the composition of the people that came over? Individuals, families, children on their own? What can you tell us about that?
Mostly small families. We had quite a few individuals. They actually came here without their families. So they have families back home, and we're very concerned about them because they're very distraught having had to leave people. In some cases, people had to leave them at the airport in Kabul. They were separated by a door. So there was a lot of trauma based on that, and a lot of grief and many challenges with folks that were in that situation. So we did have a lot of single people who came that way, but they aren't actually single. They do have families back at home. But we had lots of families with small kids. We've already had 14 babies born here.
Wow.
Yeah, we had lots of expectant moms. We still have 8 more moms who are expectant. Most of them were from the Afghan community. We also had some from the Congolese and the Sudanese communities too.
Wow. Okay. Is that the toughest challenge, the connection to family members and friends that are left behind? Or what is it that was most either heartbreaking or challenging for your team?
I think it's really that. It's having the families left behind. With the folks coming over here, they're very concerned about them. They're still concerned about them. There's a lot of food insecurity right now in Afghanistan, so people are very concerned about that. And not knowing what they're, because we still don't really know what resources are available to bring people here, because they're still in kind of a precarious immigration status.
So then what does that help look like? What do you do for them when they come over? They arrive in your care. Are you in charge of both their paperwork as well as their welfare?
Yes. So we do all the paperwork with them. We have connected everybody to our immigration law clinic so they can get their immigration status figured out. And we find them housing, and we make sure they have food. We do all of their support to get them benefits like Medicaid. We help support their health screenings. We get the kids enrolled in school, and then we get them jobs. And right now, everybody who came last year, all of the Afghans who came are working.
Wow.
And they're all in permanent housing, and they're doing really well.
So you really set them up to take care of themselves. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's the goal, is that they become self-sufficient as soon as possible.
That's fantastic. What does the future hold for them? Is there a path to residency or citizenship, or do they dream of going back? You mentioned the immigration clinic.
Yes, so everybody is hoping to stay here, as far as we know, and to be able to bring their families here. And there are a couple little programs that we're trying to work through to see if they can bring some of their family members, especially those that were separated at the airport in Kabul. But there's actually an act that's just been introduced into both the House and the Senate, the Afghan Adjustment Act. And so if that passes, then that will give everybody a path to citizenship through, ideally, they'll be able to become permanent residents and then possibly citizens someday. So we're hoping to see what's going to happen with that.
A hope and a dream. Do you and your team need help? And if so, what kind of help do you need?
Well, yeah, we do need a lot of help. We still need housing, and I think this is nationwide. Housing, decent, safe, and affordable housing is short right now. So we're always looking for housing resources and staffing. We know that there's a labor shortage everywhere at every fast food industry and every place that we're visiting, but it's the same with us as well. And so we're always looking for staff. And we have more refugees coming in. We've had 112 other refugees from other parts of the world come in at the same time. So we continue to be busy with all of them. And we're expecting about 500 more people next year. So we expect to be busy still for the next couple of years. This is what we do. And this is our works are part of our faith in God and what we want to do.
That's beautiful. Well, thank you for your work and for staying on the front lines of this crisis and so many others.
Thank you.